Hey, Joe, it's Chris, and I know I'm your producer here on your podcast, but I also have my own questions because I am a product manager in my day job. And one of the questions I have for you is, what do you do when you are I'm dealing with engineering, and for some reason they have the idea that you want to keep product out of certain questions. There are big systems that they use for DevOps, things like Datadog and other things, which I think are really interesting software applications. And I'm trying to get them to not all, but some of the engineers to understand that this is actually a good thing for product to know, and not that they're going to be making decisions for engineering and take over or do all this sort of thing, but it's something that will help them better understand what the capabilities are. So if they can kind of use that to sort of noodle around for new product ideas. And what do you do in that case when they just don't want to really keep product informed and think that they're just going to get involved and mess things up? How do I work with them on that to make them understand it actually is a benefit for a product to also be an educated consumer in that regard?
Hey, Christine. Thanks for the question. Sorry about my attire. I just got done with a day of skiing, and it was 1 degree outside, so I kept it to a half day because it was pretty damn cold out there. In any case, it's a good question. So when you're dealing with IT and product and individuals, so there's a couple of natural fears. When you're trying to get to understand all of the tools, DevOps and things like that, you have to understand that IT as an organization is really, the redheaded stepchild in just about every way. Everybody says they're too expensive. When we try to explain things, oftentimes we're, individuals aren't interested. Some of them are. You get this very, very diverse array of interested and then not accepting at the same time. You also have to realize how IT technically has been viewed over the past, decades. Companies have offshored us, they've outsourced us, and I'm not saying anything wrong with, India and stuff like that. I mean, these are actually good things. But as an IT practitioner, in almost every single space, you've either been undervalued, you've been not wanted to be spoken to, you've been stuck in your corner. There's just a million ways where the IT folks have been, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say mistreated, but really just looked down upon. Everything that they do is wrong. If it's not perfect, it's not acknowledged at all. And when somebody starts asking questions around things that are traditionally really outside of what IT does for IT, then there's going to be a lot of speculation. What are you going to do with this information? Are you going to try to figure out how to use it better than us? Are you going to try to find another group that's using that knows how to use it and replaced by us? So there is a natural hesitation for technology folks, especially in the DevOps infrastructure space, to allow people in, because usually when we allow people in, all they do is ridicule how we do our job and what we're doing and how much money we cost and what it takes and all these other things. And they're usually very uneducated in what it takes to take to keep a system up full time. Concepts like redundancy, the amount of effort and work that has gone over decades to keep things 100% up and running all the time is monumental, and people just don't understand it. So because of, I just want to say that the lack of appreciation that the average IT person feels, they don't want to share information because they don't know what you're going to do with it. The easiest way for you to, as somebody in product, because again, how much does product really need to understand the DevOps cycle other than how long things are going to take? They really don't. But how do you actually get IT to trust that you're going to do the right thing, to allow you behind the curtain? It's really understanding the art of the possible. And let me unpack that a little bit. So the average technology person isn't invited to all the meetings. They aren't usually at the table when people are deciding on product ideas. They're not usually invited. It's only after they have made, and I'll make other videos on this because it's the most important thing that you can do as an IT person. They really have not made the bonds within the organization to get a invitation to be part of essentially the idea factory. So a couple of things. The first thing is, extend the olive branch before you try to invade their space. Meaning, when you're going to the business side, start to bring them in earlier. When individuals are asking you questions, bring your IT folks to the first meetings, not the third and the fourth and the fifth. Have them part of everything, because really it's a two-way street. So if you're not including them in everything that you do, and then you start asking questions about what they're doing to keep their operations running, they're obviously going to be concerned about, where's this question coming from? What are you going to do with the information? Blah, 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 blah. So step one, invite them to all of the stuff proactively that you do that they could potentially be part of, so that they understand that you're not trying to box them out or exclude them. That's a relationship thing. The second thing is explain to them what you're trying to do. So why do you need information around how they do DevOps? Maybe it's because you don't understand the different technologies and are really looking for the art of the possible when it comes to what you're offering the clients. So in the product space, as somebody who's developing product, you would be very interested in how quickly we can go things to market, how many releases can we do, can we release on demand, all of these other different things that actually sit in the technology space that could be part of a product offering, meaning the timeliness of releases, all these other things that you would do to say, hey, we're a state-of-the-art company, we have the ability to release patches and fixes within days and hours. All of those different things would actually be something that would be part of product. So explaining to them why you're interested, explaining to them that you're really looking for them to teach you the art of the possible, and then most importantly, up front, before you start asking questions and digging into all of the stuff that's in the IT space, understand what the average IT person's experience has been over the last 20 or 30 years. Very untrusting, first people to let go, first people to get outsourced, move you to a different country. Like, once you understand that, like, that's where they sit in most of their positioning, understand that sometimes you have to put the olive branch out there first. So next time you have a meeting and you're sitting there going like, oh, the IT folks don't need to be here, we're not at that phase yet, like, put that thought in your pocket and invite the IT folks. Because when you extend the olive branch, all of the walls are going to start to come down, because all they are is a group of folks that really want to be included. They want to be part of the decisions. They want to be part of the creation of the product. They don't want to just be order takers. And a lot of times in a lot of companies, that's where they've ended up, that's where they are today. They're sitting there waiting for people to come down and tell them what to do, as opposed to letting them be part of the process. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that makes sense. But again, it's I think working and trying to dig into areas that aren't traditionally your area. You're really digging up a can of worms and not being sensitive or understanding how the average IT person views the last 30 years, and what we've all had to deal with from just a treatment perspective. So, in any case, thanks so much for the question, and we will see you next time. Hey, GoPro, stop recording.